Hey guys, so today we're going to be learning about the Amharic alphabet or syllabary. Basically, the way the Amharic Fidel works is there are a set of shapes that represent consonants, and we slightly change those shapes just a little bit each time to represent the vowel that goes along with it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 vowel sounds, at least the way it's written. The first one, you typically transliterate with this A with 2 dots above it, and that represents the sound and sometimes depending on the letter, and some other maybe phonological context. Then we have U, E, A, and O. O can also sometimes be more like an aw kind of sound. This sound can be transliterated with this kind of upside down E shape, which is called the schwa, but the vowel that it makes isn't actually a schwa. It's more like an sound. In the International Phonetic Alphabet, I think it's written more like this. Anyway, let's start. The first letter is ha, or huh, actually. And it's kind of just like a U. To make it who, we're gonna draw the same shape, but we're gonna add this stroke to it. For he, the shape changes a little bit. You can still kind of see how it's related, but you'll see it has this little tail. And then we have ha. Sorry, that was a little bad. It's just like the he shape, but without this stroke. Hey is also following the same pattern, and we add this little loop. Then we have h. This one's a little interesting looking. It's kind of like it's kind of like this U that has a break in it. And then ho, we go back to the original shape of the h, and we add a loop up here. So next we have la. La is sort of like an upside down h, but with this little point on top. Li, very similar. We add this extra stroke. Sorry, that was Lu. Li is next. Again, we have this kind of like a snake's tongue coming out. For la, we have kind of, the right kind of end is elongated a bit. It goes past where the left one starts. Then we have lay, and this one has a loop, just like hey has that loop. And then we'll do l. This one's interesting. It has a loop at the beginning. I drew it at the end, but you can also kind of draw it this way. And then low. All right, next we have another kind of h. This one's transliterated with a dot under the H. Long ago it may have been pronounced like h, but now it's really just pronounced like a normal H sound. This one has this kind of arc and then this sort of vertical, slightly slanted line. You can kind of do them in either order. Some people do it like this first. So that's who. Next we've got he. We'll do ha. You'll see again we elongate the right side and keep the left side short. Next we've got hey. And then huh. This one is a little interesting. It has kind of the snake tongue up on top here. And then ho is also a little interesting. It has this kind of slightly different shape. The left side is longer than the right side. So next we've got ma. Ma, shaped like that, kind of like an open seashell. Next we've got mu. This one has kind of the snake tongue. And then we've got me. And this one has a tail with the kind of snake tongue. And then ma. Next, may. After may, we've got ma. So this one, you can kind of, I like to start here and then kind of do it around like this. That's ma and mo. Next we'll have sha. Sorry, not sha. This is sa. And this sa we transliterate with a dash over it, but it's pronounced like a regular S. Interestingly, it kind of looks like the letter sin in Arabic or shin in Hebrew. So it's a good clue that, you know, these languages are somehow related. And actually we know they are. Amharic is part of the Semitic language family, although it's a pretty distant relative of Arabic and Hebrew. Next we'll have si. And sa. This one actually really looks like a backwards Arabic letter sin. And then we'll have say. And sa. so. One thing I'll point out is don't take my pronunciation as your only model. I'm not a native speaker, so I'm gonna mess up a little bit with the sounds. This is a ra, kind of like a trilled Spanish R. And here's ra. And ru, kind of that same shape on top, with this extra stroke coming out of the bottom. And then we have ri, pretty similar to ra, except the tail kind of comes up at the end. Then we have ra, and similar except the tail goes up and then back down. Then we have re, so you can see by now that there's some patterns and there's some exceptions to those patterns. Next is r. This one's a little different looking. It's almost like the letter C. And finally, ro. So now we'll do sa, and this also pronounced just like a normal S, and transliterated as a normal S. It's really similar to la. Yeah. Now we have su, si, sa. And when you're tracing these on the app, the differences should appear more apparent to you. My handwriting's not super great, so it's easy to confuse the la and sa. Sorry, where were we? We're on saw, and then say. S. And so. Next we have sh, makes a sh sound as if it were an SH, and we transliterate it with an S with this kind of, I think it's called a brev, but it's a, just a kind of upturned letter C. And this one's interesting, it has a bar above it, and it's pretty similar to sa, except with this extra stroke. So here we go. Oh, sorry, I forgot the extra strokes on su and on shu. It's funny. And then we're on shi. And show. Next we have K. We can transliterate it with a Q, or some people do it with a K apostrophe. And it's like a K sound, but you kind of eject air. It takes a little practice. I'm not totally sure if I do it right, but it sounds something like And so here we have and then ku, and then ki, and then ka, and ke, and ka, and ko. Okay, next we have B. Pretty simple. Bu. We're kind of back to basics with this. B. Ba. Be. B. Bo. Next we'll have V. And Vu. And V. And Vu. Va, sorry. And Ve. And V. And Vo. Oops, did that backwards. And you can see it looks just like the B series, just with this extra marking. This mark, you know, B is a bilabial sound because you use both of your lips to produce it, and V is called a labiodental sound because you touch your tooth to your tongue. So these sounds are, you know, related to each other in kind of an articulatory sense. Your speech organs do really similar things with just one small difference. So next we have ta. I slanted that a little wrong. It should actually be going the other way. We're gonna redo that so it looks better. That one's a little too slanted, but you get what I mean. Next we have tu. T. Ta. Te. t, and toe. So you can see this pattern is similar to other times we had a vertical stroke. For example, with the qa, the O resulted in this loop at the top. Next we have cha. You can transliterate it with a C with a little cup over it, or you might see this in the International Phonetic Alphabet. It's a ta with a sh that kind of looks like the integral sign from calculus. And here's what it looks like. So that's ta. It has kind of these two bars. And next we have tu, or chu, sorry. And it's similar. And now we have chi. We get it, the tail going off to the right. Next, cha. Che. Ch. This one's a little interesting. It has this kind of break motif that we've seen before. And then cho is also kind of interesting. We get this kind of middle stroke, this middle loop, in kind of an odd place. And we're almost halfway done. Next we have another H sound. This one is transliterated with this curved line under it. It may have been a kind of h sound before, maybe in Old Amharic or in other Ethio-Semitic languages. But apparently today it's just a normal H sound. And it's written like this. And it has this little stroke here. Next we have who. You get this coming out of it. He. Feel free to critique my handwriting in the comments, by the way. Ha. Your critiques might help other learners. Hey. Who. Wait, what's going on here? Yeah, I did this one a little wrong, sorry. It's like a little bit shorter here. And then you have the stroke coming off like that. And then ho has quite a different looking shape. Ho. And then we have na, which is kind of similar looking. And then nu. Ni. Na. You kind of get this backwards question mark shape. And then ne. Ne. Is again an interesting shape. More or less like that. And then no. You kind of go back to the na shape, but with the characteristic o loop. Now we have nya, which is just like na, but with this extra bar above it. Now nya. This one, pay attention, there's this extra stroke connecting the bar and the na shape. And then ne. Sorry, nye, I mean. Nya is next. This one, the bar shape is a little different. And then finally, nyo. And then this is our last one before part 2. It's it's translated with this little apostrophe, kind of round C apostrophe looking thing. Or in the International Phonetic Alphabet, it's translated as this kind of question mark without a dot. And it makes an sound, like in uh-oh. And it looks like this. That's this is oo. As English speakers, this sound might feel a little weird and foreign to us, but we actually pronounce it a lot in English at the beginning of words that start with vowels without realizing it. E. Like the word actually, we say ah. There's kind of a soft glottal stop at the beginning. Next is ah. A. It's kind of hard to try to pronounce those words without pronouncing the glottal stop. If you try to be really conscious of it, say actually without saying actually. And then we have This one's a little tricky because it's kind of got that same break that we see in other words and other letters, sorry. And then we have O. And this also, and this is a short one on the right. Okay, that's it for part 1.